Everyone downloads multiple productivity apps. Pomodoro, productivity tactic number 4. Let's try it this time, and maybe it works out better than the last time where I got distracted and I ended up watching 4 episodes of anime in between my actual work sessions, which are supposed to be deep work. Bam! But, well, I guess my Pomodoro session is over. Time to go watch episode 6 of Dragon Ball Z. So what do all these people have in common? They are looking for extrinsic ways to be more productive. They are looking for secret hacks and productivity tools that will keep them productive. Those things can all be nice, but if you intrinsically don't want to be productive, you're gonna suffer. And that's where the iceberg comes in. Don't be like most people. If you're watching this video, you're already not, because this video doesn't have any cheap cuts or edits in it. It's a raw, authentic video, and let's be honest, 99% of the people don't have the attention span for that anymore. So they all click off in the first 20 seconds of the video, which I see in my statistics, like literally can prove this with screenshots, right? So if you don't want to be like most people, you need to understand this. Your success, where everyone wants to go, this can be in your school, your business, this can be in your relationships, this can be in your self-improvement, this can be in your life, everything that you have, your gym, your fitness. Your success is driven by your productivity. Yeah, everyone knows that. But where does your productivity come from? It comes from your priority. Imagine that one guy, let's call him John, right? Imagine John or Johnny. Imagine Johnny sits back onto his desk, ready to do some more work, right? He sits on his desk because he just finished his episode of Dragon Ball Z. He's pretty motivated to keep writing on that essay that he needs to finish for school. But at the same time, his thoughts are with Goku and Vegeta, battling it out. He's thinking, how's the fight gonna end? Because of course the episode ended on a cliffhanger, so that they keep you consuming their weird content. But he starts writing, right? You see sweat dripping down his forehead. He's trying to focus. But you know what he does? Instead of writing, really trying to get into the focus of writing, he tries to focus on making his essay look pretty. Right? And it feels productive because he makes one text, one headline bold, and then it stands out. He even underlines it with a color, which matches the chapter under it. And he matches the color with the chapter, and it's all nice, and it's like really good. Beep, 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 beep. Well, back to Dragon Ball. Now, if I ask you, how much progress did he make? 0. You might have said like, 5%. He made 0 progress. Because it's these tasks which rob our productivity if we don't have our priority. Now, where does the priority come from? And this is where most people fail. Most people know their priority tasks. Even normal people, right, who aren't really on self-improvement, who don't watch these kind of videos, even those kind of people usually have their priority set. But their priority isn't driven by their goals. So their priority always feels like a burden, like a hassle. I don't want to write this fucking essay, I want to make the text bold. Now, why does Johnny think that? Johnny thinks that because the priority doesn't come from his goals that he set himself. Our goals are the drivers of our priorities, and it doesn't work any other way. Because if your priority is making money for a boss, you're going to be unhappy, unless that's aligning with your goals, right? So for example, my priority right now is getting 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to help with that, if you like this video, subscribe. It helps me more than you could imagine. But where does that priority come from? It comes from my journaled, thought about goals that I've hung on my wall and I look at every morning to make sure that I stay on track and I stay motivated. 4 days, I've been extremely sick. I'm just recovering today. I have an autoimmune disease which is called Crohn's disease, and I had food poisoning which really put me into a bad state due to my Crohn's disease. It's in the digestive tract, so it's all connected. So if you have food poisoning with Crohn's disease, there's a very high likelihood your Crohn's disease might flip a shit, right? So this might be kind of vulgar, bro, but you know, I was shitting blood. I still have a hip pain 24/7, which barely allows me to walk. I can't do exercise, which comes from inflammation in the joints. I have mouth blisters, which hurt. I have stomach aches. I have tiredness. I have fever. And the past 4 days have been spent mainly on YouTube. I remember I was sitting right here on my desk. I was watching a guy play a video game, which I used to play as a kid. Kind of comfort-seeking behavior, right? And I just remember sitting there thinking, why can't I just look at my goals, write down some goals, close this tab, and regain my priority and my productivity? I hadn't looked at my goals for 4 days. 4 days. I usually do it every evening, every day, because it's the only thing which keeps me going. If I lose track of this, if you lose track of this, this will suck and you won't want to do this. And instead of doing this, you're going to want to watch video games of a guy playing video games that you used to play as a kid. Let's get to the juiciest part of this. And I want to thank you to watching to here. It's a very competitive space. And if you watch till here, it's a huge boost for my channel because the watch time is so important. And your attention span is fantastic, by the way. So the purpose is what drives your goals. Because, for example, one of my goals could be that I want to be the best CSGO player on earth. Now, if I had that goal and I would derive my priority and productivity and success from that, it would fail just as if I would try to do my priorities, which I thought my priorities to be, without my goals. Because this big goal that I want to be this best CSGO player, which I had that goal back in the day, not professionally, but like under my friends, right? I would practice, I would like go on the training grounds. I don't know if you ever played CSGO or not, but I would go on the training grounds. There was like a training map where you can shoot and you can aim and you can practice headshots. I used to do that all the time because I wanted to be the best under my group of friends that I played with. If this was still my goal, it would be forced. I would hate it. I wouldn't have fun unless it was rooted in my purpose. But my purpose is definitely not that. My purpose is something entirely bigger and different than that. This is not a video of how to figure out your purpose, by the way. But you can think of purpose as an onion. It has layers. If you peel one layer of the onion, you uncover the next. For me, my first purpose layer was being a concert pianist in the top 1% of skill. I'm a very ambitious guy and I obsess over things, and I also had a knack for piano since a young age because my mom taught me. She was a concert pianist too. So this was my purpose. And up until the age of 21, it was all I did. That was my productivity. I was gaming and playing piano, playing concerts, gigs. I did that. It was great. And then I found self-improvement and gym. That was my next layer. So for you, what your purpose is, where you can derive your goals from, where you're gonna derive your natural productivity from, priority from, where you will then get your productivity from, and then the success will be anything that once you've taken a step back and you uncover your authentic thoughts. I made a video on that as well, by the way. Check my channel, it's the last video I posted. Your authentic thoughts, not your fake thoughts that you have, your authentic thoughts, right? Once you've done that, that is when you will be able to journal and sit with yourself and uncover your purpose. It could be anything as trivial as becoming financially free. It could be something as trivial as building an aesthetic body. It could be something as, I want to read one book in my life, one book from beginning to end. So your purpose then is, I gotta read. And then your goal becomes, finish this book this month. Then you have a big monthly milestone and you can focus all your attention on that. So that's your priority. You get up every morning, get out of bed, you brush your teeth, you're almost like happy, you're almost like giddy about reading. So you make your coffee, maybe maybe you like coffee, make your tea, you sit down, you don't even want to like start your day with YouTube like you used to do. You want to read, and you sit down in your chair or wherever you like, you just start reading, and it feels right, because your priority feels right, it's all aligned. And then your productivity skyrockets. You feel productive, which creates a self-image of yourself, shattering your old self-image of not productive person. Because all your attempts at being productive weren't derived in your purpose, so they felt like shit and you could never be consistent with them. So your self-image has always been that of an unproductive person. So work on this first. If you liked this video, I write this exact style in my newsletter, and I put a lot more time and thoughts into it as well. I'm trying to make it very, very valuable, like letters to my younger self that he could have benefited from. So if you're like me, those might benefit you heavily. First link in the description, sign up to that and subscribe to my channel, because that gives me really healthy dopamine to keep this purpose going and keep this motivation going inside me. You know, it does a lot for a YouTuber, for someone who's trying to do this, because he just loves creating, always have to see a new subscriber when checking that subscriber count. Other than that, man, thank you. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Fuck, you fucking hit.